into the 11 supernovas.
Other big shot rookie pirates.
Yeah, guys who made a huge splash really fast, high bounties, marking them as major players in this new pirate era. But the real trigger for disaster.
The Celestial Dragons.
Yeah, Celestial Dragons, these incredibly arrogant, cruel elites of the world government. Their casual cruelty just pushes Luffy too far. He punches one.
Which is like the ultimate taboo.
Absolutely. A reckless act, maybe, but understandable. And it has immediate massive consequences. The world government brings its full attention right down on them.
Because punching one of them is basically attacking the whole world order they represent.
Exactly. And Kuma shows up again. But this time,
He scatters them.
uses his power to send the entire Straw Hat crew flying to different islands all over the world. Completely separated, totally vulnerable, facing challenges alone.
And while that's happening, Luffy gets devastating news about his brother, Ace.
Yeah, parallel to the crew being scattered, Luffy learns Ace has been captured and is going to be executed. This kicks off this desperate, frantic sequence. Luffy infiltrates Impel Down, the underwater great prison.
Where he teams up with some unlikely people.
Totally unlikely. Former enemies like Buggy and Crocodile, plus the fishman Jinbei. But even with their help, despite everything he tries, he can't stop Ace from being transferred to Marineford for public execution.
And Marineford. I mean, that's just an all-out war on an unbelievable scale.
It's called the War of the Best, for a reason. It's the full might of the Marines versus Whitebeard's forces. Whitebeard, acknowledged as the strongest pirate in the world.
And Luffy arrives right in the middle of this chaos.
Driven by that hope to save Ace. The sheer number of legendary, powerful people clashing on both sides, it's almost overwhelming.
But tragically.
Yeah, tragically, despite all the efforts, all the sacrifices, both Whitebeard and Ace die in the war. Ace dies right there in Luffy's arms, protecting him.
God, the impact on Luffy must have been immense.
Utterly devastating. It leaves him in this state of just profound grief, despair, totally broken.
It's a truly heartbreaking moment, changes everything. And it forces Luffy and the whole scattered crew, really, to face their own limits. They weren't strong enough.
Exactly. That crushing defeat, that powerlessness.
Yeah.
It directly leads to the 2-year time skip.
The training arc.
The ultimate training arc, yeah.
Yeah.
The separated crew makes this unified decision, communicated in secret, to spend 2 years training intensely wherever they landed. They needed to get stronger to survive the new world.
So when they finally reunite after those 2 long years, it's a very different, much more powerful crew setting sail again.
Oh, absolutely. Their reunion immediately shows off how much they've all grown individually and together.
And their first stop in the infamous New World is Fishman Island, deep underwater.
Yes, Fishman Island, way beneath the sea. It's their first real taste of the New World's unique environments and its own deep-seated problems. In this case, the prejudice between humans and fishmen.
And they face Haughty Jones there.
Haughty Jones, yeah. A powerful, fiercely racist fishman antagonist. But importantly, it's on Fishman Island that Luffy makes this big public declaration. He says he'll protect his friends against anyone, even the emperors of the sea, the Yonko.
Setting the stakes high for the New World.
Absolutely. Solidifying their ambition to reach the very top. And remembering those bonds from places like Alabasta is key here, because that loyalty gets tested constantly in the New World.
The New World definitely doesn't ease them in. From underwater, they land on Punk Hazard, the half-frozen, half-burning island.
Yeah, Punk Hazard is just bizarre. A real scar on the map from some past disaster. And there they meet Caesar Clown.
The mad scientist.
Totally mad, completely amoral. They uncover his horrifying experiments, manipulating kids, creating these awful human weapons.
And this links up to bigger players, right?
Yes, his disgusting work is directly tied into the bigger power structures. Specifically, the warlord Don Quixote do Flamingo. And through him, connections to the Yonko, the 4 emperors.
And this is where they team up with Trafalgar Law.
Crucial development, yeah. They form this strategic alliance with Law, another supernova, who has his own serious beef with Doflamingo. Their shared goal, take down Doflamingo.
Which leads them directly to Dressrosa, Doflamingo's kingdom, which looks vibrant but underneath.
It's completely corrupted. Dressrosa is huge, complex. It's Doflamingo's puppet kingdom, ruled with absolute tyranny, hidden behind this fake facade of fun and joy.
And the themes here are pretty heavy.
Incredibly heavy. Systemic deception, slavery, the lasting trauma of suffering. We meet key figures like Kairos, the one-legged gladiator with that tragic backstory, and his daughter Rebecca.
And Doflamingo's powers, the strings.
Yeah, his devil fruit powers are terrifyingly versatile, perfect for manipulation and control, and incredibly cruel.
And this is where Luffy unveils Gear 4th.
Exactly. The fight against Doflamingo, who's just overwhelmingly powerful, pushes Luffy to his absolute limit again. He has to unleash Gear 4.
Which is awesome.
Totally awesome. The fight is epic, the destruction is massive, and defeating Doflamingo is a monumental event, not just for Dressrosa's people, but for the whole world. It throws the underworld into chaos, really signals the dawn of a new era.
And it wasn't just Luffy, right? Lots of allies helped.
Definitely. The tiny Tontada tribe, the gladiators Doflamingo tormented, they all played crucial roles. And this is where Luffy's Grand Fleet forms 7 pirate crews who pledge loyalty to him, inspired by what he did. Huge development.
Wow. Okay, after all that chaos in Dressrosa, they end up somewhere totally unique. Zoo. The giant walking elephant island.
Zoo is like nothing else.
Yeah.
Literally a living island on the back of this ancient, colossal elephant walking the ocean.
Wild. But there's a new crisis waiting for them there.
Yeah, a very personal one. Sanji, their cook, has suddenly disappeared.
Hmm.
Been forcibly taken by Big Mom's crew, another Yonko, for a political marriage.
Another emperor. Man.
Right. And they also meet the Mink tribe, these animal people who've just suffered this brutal attack from Kaido's crew, yet another emperor.
Kaido's beast pirates, it's all converging on the emperors now.
Exactly. But Zoo is also hugely significant because of the information they uncover there. Game-changing stuff.
Like what?
The existence of ancient weapons, these things of immense destructive power. The revelation of the road poneglyphs, 4 specific stones needed to find the final island, Raftel.
Ah, the key to Laugh-Tale, or Raftel.
And more clues about the Void Century, that lost history. All of this points directly towards the ultimate goal, reaching Raftel, finding the One Piece.
Okay, so bringing us right up to episode 745. Where does all this leave Luffy and his increasingly legendary crew?
Well, as of 745, Luffy's immediate focus is crystal clear. Rescue Sanji from Big Mom.
Heading right into the territory of an emperor.
Yep, setting up this incredibly dangerous confrontation with one of the most powerful people in the world. And at the same time, everything that happened on Zoo makes it obvious that their path to the One Piece, to Luffy's dream, inevitably leads to a clash with Kaido.
The emperor who attacked the minks and holds one of those road poneglyphs?
Exactly. So the stakes have never been higher, the threats are absolutely formidable, and the world just feels so much more interconnected and vast.
So just to quickly recap this incredible journey we've covered, we saw Luffy's first kind of wonderfully eccentric crew come together, each with their own big dream. They navigated the Grand Line, facing down warlords in Alabasta, reaching the sky in Skypiea, directly challenging the world government at Eni's lobby, a time with huge wins but also deep losses like the Mary. They met more warlords, survived the world-shattering war at Marineford, which led to that crucial 2-year time skip for growth.
A necessary pause.
Then they came back stronger, plunged into the New World Fishman Island, the weirdness of Punk Hazard, forging that key alliance with Law.
Leading to Dressrosa.
The massive Dressrosa arc, taking down Doflamingo, gaining a grand fleet, and then Zoo, revealing secrets about ancient weapons, road poneglyphs, and setting up the current crisis. Rescuing Sanji from Big Mom while knowing Kaido is on the horizon.
That covers it pretty well. And throughout this whole epic voyage, you see these core themes constantly popping up, really underscoring everything.
Like what?
Well, the power of friendship, obviously. That unwavering loyalty in the crew, the importance of sacrifice for each other, that relentless pursuit of freedom against, all odds and oppression.
And just Luffy's sheer determination, him and the whole crew really never backing down.
Exactly, that unwavering will, even when facing completely overwhelming power.
It really does make you think, doesn't it, about the sheer scale and how interconnected this whole world of One Piece is, just up to this point.
It's incredible world building.
Yeah, like how seemingly separate events, little characters from way back, huge conflicts, surprising alliances, they've all somehow fed into this grand narrative, all pointing towards Raftel. What does that level of intricate detail, all these interwoven stories and motives, what does it really suggest about the journey still ahead for the Straw Hats? And maybe even more, what does it suggest about the One Piece itself? What could it possibly be to justify all this?
That's the big question, isn't it? The groundwork laid in these first, 745 episodes is just staggering. It hints at a payoff that has to be equally grand, equally satisfying. What does it even mean to be king of the pirates in a world this complex?
Yeah, that question just keeps driving everything forward. A fantastic deep dive into this foundational, incredibly rich part of the One Piece saga. Thanks for sharing all that insight.
My pleasure. It's always fun to talk about.
And to you, our listener, until our next exploration, stay curious about these amazing worlds and, keep